Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Amelia Rebecca, and on this channel we talk about embodying your confidence, reclaiming your beauty, owning your power, and so much more. And I have taken a little bit of a break. I haven't made a video in a couple weeks and I'm happy to be back. But I wanted to talk about those things specifically, the embodying confidence, reclaiming your beauty, and owning your power. The reason why I haven't made a video in a couple weeks is because I have personally been struggling with all of those things within myself the last couple weeks. And I don't know, when I started this channel, it was really important for me to have a space to really offer some valuable insight and show up in an authentic way. And I just didn't feel like I could do that. And it's really hard for me to be vulnerable when I'm in not the most badass version of myself place, or at least not in a digital space. But I will say all of the wisdom and insight that I do have to share has come from a lot of the trials that I've experienced and being in these places that feel kind of low. But I've always managed to find an opportunity for growth and recognize the benefit of every part of my journey, including the parts that really don't feel good and that really suck. And yeah, so it felt really important to show up and talk to you guys from this place. And I'm still kind of there, but I'm feeling so much better and I feel like I can articulate some things that could be helpful. So something that I have been struggling with was my work. It still is my work. I'm sure a lot of you guys already know that I used to be a hairstylist for a really long time, and it kind of hit me a couple weeks ago how much I was not seeing my value when I was doing that. And I mean, I was not upholding any of my boundaries, being overly accommodating for a large portion of my career, wasn't charging enough. And I've also, even though I am really great at cutting hair, I was never one of those people that was super booked out for months in advance with a waiting list. And now I'm seeing that as like, I think because I had my eye sort of set on a much bigger thing that I was going to do in this world, even if I didn't know what that was. I always knew that I was meant for more. And I think that some part of me just didn't allow myself to be super successful in that because I don't know, maybe I just know myself too well. And I think that if I had achieved some sort of success or reached financial goals that I've been trying to achieve for a really long time way earlier on, I would have allowed myself to be complacent and not continued to prioritize my growth, which is a really strong value that I have. And anyway, I recently was on a walk with a friend of mine, and she didn't really know much about my history as a hairstylist. So I started talking to her about it, and I heard myself speaking about the ways that I was helping people and how talented and gifted I was. And I just started crying because I was like, man, I can't believe that I didn't see this about myself before. And then it made me realize that with the work that I'm doing now, I was showing up in kind of a similar way where I just wasn't really seeing my worth. And that's really hard to admit because I think coming from a place where I wasn't seeing my worth and I started to connect to what was really bringing me joy and lighting me up in the work that I was doing with my hair clients, especially towards the end, where I just was really connecting to people's narratives about their beauty story and the ways that they were feeling bad about their beauty, and just knowing intuitively what to say to them in that moment to make them see the truth of their beauty in some way, and to leave them feeling so much better about themselves than they were when they started their haircut with me. And then when the pandemic happened and I couldn't see my clients in person, and also feeling like it was time to move on to something else, I decided to go full in on those aspects that I felt were really magical. And I started doing these one-on-one sessions with people, talking about their beauty narratives and helping them connect to their inner beauty and the truth of their beauty, and seeing these multifaceted aspects of themselves that made them unique just for being who they are. And it just is so empowering. It's such empowering work, and I'm really proud of it. But because it's still kind of new, and I was going from a place where I wasn't seeing my worth to now doing something that's not conventional. I don't know anybody else that does this specifically. So I was still carrying some of that energy, even though I was totally believing in what I had to offer and what I could do for people, and recognizing new gifts starting to emerge. Because it was something that was so new for people, I felt like I was putting myself in this position to just talk as much about it as I could, in ways to like help people understand what I was doing so that they could get on board with it. And I just got lost in this process of putting all of my eggs in the Instagram basket and just trying so hard to prove myself to people, to gain clients, to just feeling so burnt out and overwhelmed, and feeling like I've worked so hard and nothing is happening. And it's so hard to be in that place. And yeah, just seeing that more recently, I was just like, wow, like I have done so much work on my own self and grown so much since I started doing hair, to the ways that that career had evolved to what I'm doing now, and really knowing how powerful the work that I do is, but still not really understanding the value that I have to offer was a really tough pill to swallow. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about this because I know that there's people out there that feel like, I don't know, maybe they wish, like me, that I could fit into a corporate world where I could just work for some corporation and get a paycheck and everything would be great. But I have just never been that person. I've always had a really hard time working for someone else and having somebody else in a position of authority and telling me what to do. It's always been really hard, and I've never really been able to do that. And I've always known that I was like destined for something really big and destined for something really great, even when I couldn't really see what that was going to be. And just, I don't know. I think that when you follow just your gut instinct and you just know that you have to keep listening to yourself and keep moving forward and keep trying new things, it's such a hard path to choose. And I so many times have wanted to just give up and stop, but there is a part of me that can't. So I don't know. I think it's important to allow yourself to feel all of those feelings and throw temper tantrums and throw yourself pity parties and allow yourself to move those emotions through your body. And after you feel those feelings, to really, I don't know, start to identify what the benefit is in the situation that you're in that is challenging for you. Because for me, at this point, I feel like the gift in this trial that has felt like, oh my God, I just feel like I've failed so many times, but no matter what, I'm still going to get up and keep going. I think recognizing that I was doing my own self and the work that I do a disservice by not recognizing how much value I really have and the work that I have to offer really has. And I didn't want to show up in the same way with what I'm doing now in the way that I was showing up doing hair. I'm so grateful to that part of my career because it just gave me so many opportunities to keep growing and to recognize my power and to recognize my worth and to recognize how gifted and talented I am and to see that, what I want to do and helping people connect to the truth of their beauty is just a calling in my soul that I know I need to keep pursuing. And having moments that are quiet and confusing and desperate and coming up with new ideas to try and feeling like they're all a failure but still needing to keep going is just like, it's really hard. It's really hard. But even in my darkest moments, there has always been this, I don't know, I like to think of it as an ember, and that is a symbol that I've always connected really deeply with, because an ember is left in the wake of a fire, and it's that little spark that hasn't gone out, and a breath or a gust of wind could reignite that fire all over again. And I've always had that little ember inside of me that has just never allowed me to stop. So I don't really know where my work is headed next, but right now I'm actually in a place where I feel excited about what is going to be revealed, because I really took the time for myself to feel all of the dark feelings that were coming up for me and cry on my bathroom floor and lay in bed and not want to get up many days over the last couple weeks. And now that I've gotten through that part of it, I'm in a place of confusion and I'm in a place of quietness that's really uncomfortable for me, because I don't know. Confusion is one of my least favorite things to feel, but I also know that it's a part of the process where my brain starts coming up with something new, because all these things that I've tried feel like they haven't worked, but I don't really know that. I don't really know. I know that I'm being guided somewhere, even if I can't quite see it yet, but there are big goals that I have that I just know that I'm going to achieve. So this message is for anybody that has struggled with either being a black sheep or just knowing that they have to follow their soul and their intuition into whatever path they're being guided on, and having people in their life, whether it's family or friends or mentors, that can't see that for you or don't believe it, or, are not super supportive, but you know that you have to keep going. Just do it, because I do think it's really worth it. And I feel like every time I go through a period like this, it gives me the greatest opportunity to strengthen the trust that I have within myself, because even in those darkest moments, there has been this whisper that has told me that I just need to keep trusting myself. And I've been in a place many times where when I'm feeling desperate, I relinquish that trust that I have within myself. I don't recognize my power in those moments, and I put my faith in the hands of other people, that I just will blindly trust anybody, because I don't like feeling that confusion. I'm uncomfortable in the quiet. So I'm like, oh, somebody else probably has the answer. And then I will just do what they say. And that has not really been the best way to operate, but it always brings me back to oh, I know the answer. Okay. And so, yeah, you do know the answer. You know the answer. You know what you're doing. There's some part of you that knows what you're doing, that is believing in you, that is telling you to keep having faith. And I'm telling you to keep having faith and to keep going, because it is going to pay off and it is going to be worth it. And, you know, maybe you're just the type of person that really wants to experience the most depth and richness in every aspect of your life. I know that is the case for me, because aside from my business, and I will say working for yourself is definitely not for everybody, but it is like spiritual boot camp, honestly. It's like, it brings up so many challenges. It brings up so many shadows that you have about yourself, and it gives you an abundance of opportunities for healing and recognizing how powerful you are. But I've also really struggled with my love life. You know, there's a part of me that has always believed that there was deep, real love that I really wanted to experience that's available to me. And my dating history has been really challenging as well. Like, I've dated a lot of people that I couldn't see my worth in those relationships, or I didn't uphold my boundaries, or I don't know. I just have been treated really badly in some of my relationships and allowed that, because I just wanted love so badly, to go through all of those experiences and to get to a point where I'm actually really comfortable being alone and not willing to settle for somebody that I know is not gonna add to my life or make me feel happy to be in a relationship with them, and know that the love that I really believe in is still available to me, and I'm good until it comes, you know, like, I'll be good within myself until that shows up in my life. It's like, choosing your own path and carving your own path is really beautiful, and it's really magical, and it's also hard as shit, but yeah, keep going. Anyway, that was my little personal share rant. Hopefully it was helpful, and I will also share some tips that I have in my toolkit for times that are tough, and how to navigate that, and how to do things that really support you, and surround yourself with people that support you. And I have a lot to share with that, so I'll talk about that in my next video. But it would really help me out if you guys would like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you all next time. All right, bye.